All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the TED Talk. A new week. Well, it's not even a new week since you've seen the last episode, which is, I'm not even sure which one it is because there's a lot of pre recorded stuff, but it doesn't matter. We have Isak here, Metasport's very own ex-NIP, ex-GamerLegion, but GamerLegion is really the one that weighs the most in your past. But thank you very much for taking the time, Isak. It's an absolute pleasure. I've been wanting to do that interview for quite some time, and now that you're finally returning to playing a major again, and you're returning to, I guess, well, not you specifically, but Sweden is returning to the majors as a full Swedish lineup. It is the right moment to do it. I will, though, start it off with a bit of a transition back. So I'm gonna go back to GamerLegion days, and we're not gonna talk about what happened there. Everyone knows what happened there. You had a bloody good time making it to the major of the Paris, or the final of the Paris major. What led to you leaving GamerLegion is what I'm interested in, because there was a couple people. Ime got approached. Some of the guys got approached to get transferred, but some of you left without a clear. It felt like you parted ways without a clear idea on where you wanted to go next for a little bit.
So yeah, I mean, first of all, it's nice to be here. Thank you for the nice introduction. So, and yeah, to answer the question, I think my time in Gaming Legion ended quite. I mean, I would say my contract started running out, and we had changed a lot of players, and it was kind of exhausting for me to like. We had a very good lineup, and it got like re-ramped a lot of times. Players got picked up, players left, so it took a little toll on me. But and I mean that's kind of how it was. And then I got an offer from NIP at the same time. So uh, while they was interested in me, I kind of thought like it's time to end it here in Game Region. But I mean I ended on good terms with everyone. It was never something internal or anything. It just felt like the right time.
Okay, okay, and you mentioned the offer from NIP. Did that feel, because at the time NIP was still struggling, but that was another, I guess, rebuild. Uh, Still, did it feel special being approached by one of the most legendary, if not the most legendary Swedish organization?
I mean a little bit. It was not like, I mean, I think if it would have came maybe earlier when it was more of a Swedish lineup, maybe it would have
Sure.
felt a little bit more like exciting. But I was still very excited to for the rebuild with Exist and getting to play with the rest. It was like I was very excited for it.
Talk to me a little bit about that, by the way, because I think obviously you started your career with Swedish teams, and you played with ZTR, interestingly enough, and a lot of the other guys. BQ is another name that you spend a lot of time on teams with, Era as well. But there was some time where you just played international. So you're going back to NAP. You're still playing on an international team, but did it feel good to play with someone like Rez, and what was he like as a teammate? Because during that part, a lot of people were doubting him when you were on NIP together, and now on GamerLegion again, he's apparently showing the world that he can still be a top level player. Was that visible while you were on the team together?
Yes, 100%. I think Rest is one of the most hardworking guys I've played with. I was kind of impressed by it, to be honest, because like I couldn't imagine of how he must have felt by
Mm-hmm.
all the rebuilds, because since I was getting pretty exhausted over in Game Legion, I can only imagine how his last like 4 years on NIP must have been, because it was just rebuild after. So I was really impressed by him, like still the thrive he had, and like how much work he put in. It was very impressive to me, and it motivated me as well. So I mean, he was very lovely to play with.
Another person I want to pick your brains about a little bit is Rinko, because I am one of the people that still think that Rinko is a top level talent when it comes down to opening. I think this guy is spectacular. But same as you, and same as probably Rez, with all those rebuilds on NIP and maybe the lack of security, I don't think he's been able to fulfill his potential. So, what is your take on him after playing with him for such a long time?
On Artem or Wrinkle, right?
Rinko, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I mean, as you said, like I think he's a superstar as well, in my opinion. The amount of flashy plays he did when I was with him, and like he just needs to find that he just needs to get comfortable around the system, and
Mhm.
you know, everyone needs to believe in him, and then he will just make the magic work. Like he was really good individual and very active as well. It was a very nice to play with him.
the last thing I want to talk about when it comes down to NIP, because obviously we want to focus a bit more on Metizport, but towards the end of 2024, there was constant roster changes, and at a certain at one point, even MisteM and jocab were playing with you on the team. So it was really weird to the extent where it felt like you were half an academy team, half a main team, but there was changes coming. There's guys coming in from the academy. The coach of the academy comes in. What was that like from your perspective as a player? Like what was going through your mind as all of that is unraveling around you?
I mean, I think it was kind of we were kind of unlucky as well because we wanted. Well, I was not really in like most of the decisions, but like when we changed Alex for MisteM,
Hmm.
I mean we practiced with him quite a lot and it felt good. But then we had this Elisa event, and I think like on the travel day we got told that Maxter couldn't go. So then that was the time where we actually brought in like jocab.
Yeah.
And I mean it was just kind of like it was nothing we could do. Kind of it was very unfortunate for us. We just had to do what was the best for the situation. I think we just like from there we had to shift our mindset like to like okay, well we just had to restart a bit now and get jocab like as comfortable as possible and for the next tournaments. And I mean I think he did a very good job adapting and coming into the team.
Yeah, but for you as a player, it must have been a little bit confusing, right? Because as you said, it's tiring when there's changes going on all of the time, and especially for you as an anchor guy, a supportive guy, a lurker, if you will. You are really dependable on the team functioning, right? And everyone being on the same page or whatever. If you want to unlock your full potential, you want the team to be functional. So, did you feel like all of those changes were handicapping you individually, maybe in a way, and everyone else on the team?
I think I think maybe I brought some experience for me with that happening with GamerLegion. I think
Hmm.
it affected me more in GamerLegion maybe than NIP. So I tried to not think about it as much, or like I knew how to handle the situations to make myself like um I mean I don't really care about myself like stats wise, but I try to make myself like look good, you know, still. So you know, it obviously affects anchor and like a more supported player when dynamics around like the space taker changes a lot because
Yeah.
you have to adapt to how he plays and you have to learn how he wants to react and stuff. So obviously, sometimes it can be a little tricky, but I think jocab was also a really. I got very surprised by him in a positive way. Like he was
Hmm.
really easy to work with, and he was like very determined.
Okay, okay, this is good to hear. And to put an end to that, before we get into obviously things with NIP in the long term didn't work, and that entire project imploded, and you left, Res left, Renko was the only one that stayed, and now I guess he's doing a good job. So congrats to him about that. But um, how do you deal? Because you did, I mean, go through individually a tough time in your career, and as you pointed out, you don't really want to pay attention to the stats and whatever, but there still is that mental aspect of you knowing that individually you have to, well, you're not putting out your A game, but because you need to sacrifice a lot, and this is the destiny that you pretty much have chosen for yourself by choosing the roles that you're fulfilling. So
Yeah.
how do you deal with criticism? How do you deal with not paying attention to any of the backlash, I guess?
I mean, I just kind of. I mean, it's hard not to read it sometimes, like all the hate, like, but I try to just ignore it as much as I can. But then as well, like, I mean, I just focus on what I can do next better than to look past and see like or like take bad things away. Like I just have to see what mistakes I made, like what I can learn from it, and how I can improve myself to go better.
Okay, okay, and then things don't work out. So what was your thought process like after NIP? Because I can assume that even if you were pleasantly surprised by a lot of the people, and on a personal level you were all right with everyone on the team, it still probably was emotionally a little bit exhausting to be going through another project that has constant changes going around. So what was the thought process like after you realize that you're not continuing with NIP? Was it I'm gonna take a little bit of time off until the right offer comes? Was it I directly want to go into playing again and I want to go back to playing on a Swedish lineup? Or were you just open to all options?
I mean, I think for me, I got told like I think all teams already started practicing for the upcoming season in the beginning of the year. So I got told pretty late that I got benched. So it was like you could imagine like it was a lot of teams that already made their like rosters and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, if I would have got told earlier, I don't know if I would have gotten much offers. And I had some days to think about it if I want to take a little break, maybe like take a season break and like gather myself for the next season. But I thought as well, like I had overall in NIP, I think I had a pretty rough individual time, and like I don't wanna go on a break on that. And I mean, I think I ended pretty pretty okay in NIP towards the end of it, like building up to the Shanghai RMR. I
Mhm.
think I was doing pretty well individually. But but yeah, to my thought process, I took some days to think about it if I wanted to take a break, but in the end of it, I was like, no, it will look bad in the long run, you know. So I was speaking a lot with Hampus and obviously like Metizport as well about it, like how they are looking at this team and stuff. And I mean, I chose to go with Metizport because I think it's a team I really believe in, and I mean, I would fit good in there.
What was your first impression of just in general the vibe, if you will, the atmosphere on the team, your new teammates on Metizport? Because as we said, there had been a lot of time since the last time you did actually play on a Swedish lineup, which was 2021 with Lomix. So how did you feel now going back into a full Swedish team again?
I was very excited for it. I'm not gonna lie. It was nice to talk Swedish again,
Hmm.
even though I don't mind being on an international team. But it's a nice feeling. It's like coming back home, you know. And I mean, for the guys, I think I knew them all pretty well just from playing like pugs with them. I didn't obviously know them on like an individual level, but like I've been playing a lot with all of them, so it felt nice to join.
You yourself are a pretty you are not the loudest person in the room, so to speak, and you are a passive calculating player. What I want to ask you is, do you feel a lot more comfortable when you are playing on a team with a lot of aggressive rifles and a lot of aggressive and big voices around you, that could lead the charge in a way, and then you can fill in the gaps and do what everyone needs to be done in an efficient way? Because right now on Metasport, this feels like the dynamic that you have, right? You have Hampus, you have Plopsky, you have Adam, and they are all rifles that either are entering now or at a certain point in their career, they have been the guys to run in first on both CT and T sides.
Yeah, I think 100%. I think it's probably the most comfortable for me, like having like kind of gluing the team together, kind of. But like I have some rounds as well, and like strats where
Hmm.
I enter. Like I don't mind it, but I mean on like default level, like I like to glue the team together, like be the guy to support a little bit, like make sure my team like shines a bit extra, you know. But yeah, I think like this dynamic fits me really well.
Okay, we love to hear it. A team player. What was your first impression? Because you go into that team and you said that you were speaking to Hampus. I assume that he had quite a voice on how to build the team as well. What is your first impression on playing with Hampus as an in-game leader the moment you joined? Because I feel like for a lot of people, especially after his time on Bleed, obviously things didn't work out then. A lot of people are starting to doubt the quality that Hampus could bring to a team. But he, throughout the last couple of years, has still been one of the probably most, I want to say, exciting in-game leaders in terms of pure firepower. What was the experience like getting used to playing with Hampus as an in-game leader?
It was very exciting to finally team up with him. I know we've over the years, like I think when the NIP was mostly like had a Swedish core with Brolan, Res, and Hampus,
Yeah.
they I think they tried to get me in the NIP, but they chose to go international. I think that would have been very exciting as well. But so you know, I've always like been around to. I've always wanted to play with him.
Hmm.
And for me joining with him, it was very exciting. I was very happy to finally play with him, and I think like he definitely like he definitely knows how to call well and still like perform very well on the server as well, like individually. So I mean, I was just very excited. Like that was probably the biggest factor of me joining game Metizport as well. Just to know like I have a guy that I want to play with for so long, and we almost played as well after NIP. After his time in NIP, we tried to build a Swedish roster, but that didn't go through. So I mean, yeah, it was nice.
Okay, the first couple of months of this year were not the most successful for you guys necessarily in online Counter Strike. Do you feel do you feel like that was just a calibration moment maybe for you to get used to each other? Like, what was the reason? Because for those of the people that watched the MRQ, obviously you made it to the major. We're gonna get to that in a moment. Metizport at the MRQ and Metizport maybe 1 month before that were two different teams in the server. So what is the reason in your opinion?
I think when we started practicing, I think we took it a bit too fast, in my opinion, and that's I mean, I think that's mostly like maybe everyone's fault. Like we kind of took it a little bit too fast instead of building the like foundation, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't blame anyone either. Like I think we started off a bit too fast, I think, and then we just like didn't get to play a lot of officials with each other, so it was like kind of stiff playing with each other on officials. We had to get to know each other as well on like not just the practice level, on the official level as well.
Yeah.
And then like the games we had before the MRQ, which made us like get the last spot in there, and I think it was very crucial as well just to get like the experience with each other. Like we
Mm-hmm.
we all knew how we want to play before the MRQ, which was very important.
Okay. Then now we can. I want to forget about the team side of things, and I want to ask you, what the hell was your diet like before the MRQ? Because you go into the MRQ, and suddenly, because I was casting the event as well, and suddenly I start seeing a lot more aggressive plays on the city side. You post your best event so far of the year. Day one, you completely shit on BC game and bait and best of ones. You bring in a really high level of play, both team wise, but you individually as well. So what was different about that? Was it just the extra motivation, the extra factor of you knowing that you want to be back on a major? Because that is still your best event so far this year. If you're not counting the Thunder Pick, but you played like 2 maps in it like a couple days ago, so we're not really counting that.
Yeah, 100%. I think it was the little extra motivation and excitement, and I also know that if we wanted to make this major, I had to step up individually as well to like
Mm-hmm.
give give my team the confidence as well to see like, oh shit, this guy's playing very good right now in the MRQ. Like I think it boosted the team morale a bit as well, you know. Um, but yeah, it felt really good to like hit a little best year tournament there. I think it was the right time for me to peak in my form for the year so far.
How'd you feel before and during that Astralis game? Because that was the game that actually qualified you for it, and it was a 3 mapper. You were not officially the team to kick Astralis out of the qualifier for the fifth consecutive time. Obviously, that was bait. But you were the first ones to deny them to qualify for the major. So how was mentally that game different from the others, or was it different in any way?
I think it was quite hard because I think the previous game when we played OG, like I think
Yeah.
that game very much slipped out of our hands. Like we should have definitely won that third map Inferno. But you just have to try to reset. And I mean, it was pretty. I mean, we did everything like the usual, like prep wise and stuff. But like in the game, it's players that it's that Astralis lineup is very hard to close game out. I feel like if you don't get a very very good momentum. And we started losing it a little bit towards the end of Ancient, the third map, but I'm very happy we brought it back.
How do you feel the team handled the situation mentally? And when I ask about the team, I'm not asking about you, Hampus and Plopsky, because obviously you are pretty experienced. I'm referring more to the younger guys of Lumi and adamb, and especially Lumi, because he is the big debutee for this team, right? He's the guy that hasn't played big events before. So how do you feel they have been dealing with high stakes scenarios so far?
No, I think they've been doing really well, in my opinion. I think they've showed that they aren't afraid to do stuff.
Hmm.
And especially during MEQ, they talked a lot and they were like very active and they were like you could definitely like it was not like they had any pressure on them, you know. So it was very nice to see that they also stepped up like during the hardest part as well, like mentally to be there and like show that you really want to do this, like but then actually show it as well on the server.
Okay. And I guess one of the last things that I wanna speak about officially, you are the first Swedish team since 2019. First full Swedish team with 5 Swedish players and a Swedish coach to qualify for a major, and you guys knew that the moment that you qualified for it. Um, how did that feel? What does that mean? Like I imagine it should be a pretty special feeling for you as a person and for everyone on the team as well.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think it boosts everyone like confidence as well, you know, and I think it was a very big step in the scene as well to see that a Swedish team could actually qualify to a big event. So I mean, I was very happy and I was very proud of the boys to be able to pull through and make it over the finish line to make the major. We didn't have it as a goal for this yet. Like we had a little roadmap. We didn't have it as goal to make the first major, but at least we wanted to make the second major as well. But I mean, we're very happy that we managed to qualify to this major.
What do you think has been the reason that on a domestic level, the Swedish scene has been struggling a little bit to produce really high quality 5-man lineups over the course of the last couple of years? Because it is great news, and I was really happy to see you guys do that. But for a country that used to be one of the biggest forces in World Counter Strike, the last couple of years have been a little bit more quiet on the team level, I think.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think it's hard to get like every piece in the puzzle, I would say,
Mm,
to build a good team. Like it was always like we have good players, but like either it's like role clashing or it's like you can't find an opera, kind of like because it's not a lot of operas in Swedish team throughout the years that's has been able to like want to get like maybe contractually out of their contract or like to like like fit in the team.
hmm.
I think we definitely lack operas that that are like capable to play like tier 2 tier 1 tourneys.
Okay.
But like there definitely is sorry, but like
Yeah.
there definitely is like players a lot. I think we just have to develop them a little bit. And then because like I know there's many good Swedish players in the scene, but it's been hard to form a team around it. That's my goal.
Okay. Hopefully, what you guys are doing right now will motivate a lot of those young guys. And speaking about the young guys, this is a good bridge that I'm going to use because you did say as well final pieces. Now, one of the final piece that we haven't mentioned still in your team that I want to talk a little bit about is actually the coach Abdi, because I think this guy for a lot of people going into the major is going to be a bit of an enigma, right? Because he's for him that is a first really big event as well as a coach. And for those of the folks that are watching that don't know, he was the coach of the Young Ninjas for quite a while, and this is how he kind of got introduced into coaching. So how do you compare him to some of the previous coaches that you've worked with over the years? How would you describe what he does to the team?
No, I would say like he's pretty underrated, Abdi. I would 100% say that.
Okay.
But that's maybe only because, as you said, like he's only been coaching like young ninjas from what I can know.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
uh, and maybe it's hard to like. I think at that time the academy coaches didn't get that much. Um, like they didn't look at the academy coaches that much. As
Hmm.
of now, I think like with Spirit Academy and stuff, like I think the coaches are a lot more like involved, if you can say that, or like get a lot more praise.
Sure.
But I think he's very good. Like he's very good at bringing the team together and like he's very good at solution or problem solving, I would say. And I think he's been very lovely to work with. He's very passionate about CS. He's very hardworking. Like you could tell, like he wants to become better. He wants to make the team better. And I mean, yeah, it's I see a lot of similarities with him and like Ash, for example, and Exist. Like he's very very hardworking.
Okay, this is great to hear. And I guess final thing, you are already at a boot camp. We can disclose this is not in fact Batman's cave that Isaac is in right now, even though it might look a little bit similar. But how do you feel going into the major? Are you excited to be back? Do you feel like the prep is right on track? And are we gonna see Isaac from 2023 again? Because a lot of people did say that your performance over in Paris was a fluke. Are you ready to show them that it wasn't?
Yeah, I'm 100% ready to show them, bro. Like I've been working hard
Mm.
to get back to a form. And I think for us, this boot camp, we're just finishing some stuff up. We're making sure that we're getting a solid foundations on all maps that we're playing, and it's been a nice boot camp so far. We only just started, so I'm excited to be here with the team for another week. And yeah, I mean, we will work as hard as we can and make sure that we won't go out the major as fast and be upset about it, that we can be
I
proud of our run.
I hope so, because I was thinking Lim Vision for my 0-3 pick'em, and you're playing them in round number 1. So I'm gonna put a lot of trust in you. But thank you very much
We'll
for
see.
coming over. It was it was a really enjoyable conversation, and I really appreciate you taking the time. Anything final that you want to say to the people that will be supporting and watching you guys at the major?
Yeah, I mean, shout out to everyone, everyone, even if it's Swedish or not, supporting us during all of our matches. I think recently we've been playing pretty poorly, but like we know it, and we're working hard to fix our problems. And I hope you share us even more even more at the major.
Thank you very much. Folks, make sure you go over and I was literally gonna say make sure you go over and follow Isaac as if you're some type of a content creator. Make sure you watch Isaac's games with Metizport. Thank you very much for watching. Of course, let me know down in the comments if there's someone else that you want me to bring over, whether it be someone that will be participating in the major or a completely different player that you want me to bring over on the show and have a bit of a chit chat. Thank you again very much for participating. It's been a great conversation, and good luck at the
Thank you, Ted.
major.
Thank you, Ted.